Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the YouTube banning of Nick Rekieta from Rekieta Law. And I know the first thing that everybody is thinking is, Joe, what the heck is that word that you used in your title? You called this video the Defenestration of Nick Rekieta. Well, the reason that word's in there is because it's one of my favorite words in the English language, and it means throwing someone out a window. Defenestration. Did you know that? Throwing someone out a window has its very own word. And I thought it was appropriate here because YouTube, by banning Nick Rekieta, sort of threw him out the window. So I want to talk about that ban with you here today. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Joe Pometto, Joe the Lawyer. Here on this channel, we cover legal news, do legal analysis, and provide some legal information. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And now, before we dig into the my thoughts on the banning of Nick Rekieta, everybody raise your cup, your glass in the air. Today, I'm drinking some iced tea out of my my ball jar here. So everybody, cheers with me. It tastes better when we sip together. Cheers. Okay, so first things first, I've been jumping around the internet and I've watched some of the videos with Nick. I believe he was banned just a couple of days ago, October 4th or October 5th. I haven't been able to determine whether or not it's a permanent ban. It seems to me to be maybe like a 1 week or a 2 week ban from YouTube, or it may be permanent. I'm really not sure. I would also like to say I went on Nick Rekieta Law's show, Rekieta Law, a couple of years ago. He was extremely generous, extremely nice guy. He is freaking hilarious, and that's probably one of the reasons why his show is so popular, because he is funny. He is extremely funny. So I feel terrible that Nick has been banned, and I think it's BS. But let's put some context here on this banning. So YouTube, here's the thing. YouTube ultimately is a private company, and anybody who is big into YouTube channels knows over the last few years they have been banning and knocking creators off and out of the system left and right for years. Does there appear to be a bias towards some right-wing bannings? It does seem to be that way, although I have also seen left-wing channels censored as well. So the degree to which it's biased, people can debate. But one thing we can't debate is that YouTube is a private company. And so, a lot of the talk about people suing YouTube or YouTube becoming a public utility, Twitter, Facebook, Google, all of them, that kind of goes past me a little bit. It kind of goes past me. Because if you own a private business, all right, you should be able to make choices about the type of content that you promote. If you're a YouTube, a video streaming service, the people that you hire, if you're an employer, you have 100 employees, the logos on your marketing, etc. The whole point of private business is for it to be maintained, for it to have private control. And that's true even for public companies, because public companies, although they're held to different rules and they're owned by shareholders, it's still a private business. That business in and of itself can make decisions that it wants to make. And to a large degree, America was built on keeping the government out of the hands of private business. So YouTube being a channel, an internet service, they have the ability to decide what content they want or they don't want on their channel, and on their service. And I think that's an ability that should be kept by and large by private companies. I'm not one for government interference on these things. But let's talk specifically about Nick's strikes. And again, I've gotten various information on this. I believe one of them was for graphic content. One of the strikes was for graphic content. It was a stabbing, something along those lines. I understand YouTube can't necessarily look or see everything that they go over. That they should review a strike if the creator has asked for a review. This one seems a bit suspect to me, only because I have seen extremely graphic content on many YouTube videos. My other channel, Common Sense Academy, I don't. It doesn't get that graphic, but there's oftentimes fights, conflicts, assaults between police officers and individuals. That stuff is all over YouTube. So I don't know what specifically set YouTube off there, but that strike seems to be a little bit strange. I know Nick said that he was still working through the appeals process on it, so hopefully he can win on that strike. As far as what he was banned for, again, I've seen so many different accounts. Some people said it was for making threats. Okay. And if the threat is specific enough, I can't disagree with YouTube taking action for that. But one of the other things that I believe he was struck for was for alleged doxing, because Nick had as an attorney, he had ethics complaints filed against him. And when that happens, those complaints go to the state bar, and they were based on his content on YouTube. They go to the disciplinary board of the state that the person lives in. And I think Nick is in Minnesota. So go to the disciplinary board of Minnesota, and then the disciplinary board would contact the attorney and see if they need to take any further legal action regarding that person's license. Now, if you go in Pennsylvania, for example, and this was one of Nick's arguments, he said the information in those disciplinary complaints is public information. And what Nick allegedly did, and again, I don't really know what he did, but is he put out there the complaints, and in the complaints it had contact information, or at least the identity of some of the people who filed the complaints. That's public information. And so I believe the allegation is that Nick was doxing when he was going through these complaints, but in reality, all he was doing was sharing public information. I can tell you, everyone, as a criminal defense attorney, and I do personal injury, family law, I look people up all the time. You all know that there's online services that show a person's identity, and it's all public. It's publicly available. A person's criminal record or any lawsuit filed against them in a court of law is essentially public record. I could go right now, what I could do, in fact, we've done this on the show, is we could pull up a docket of someone's criminal record and run through all the crimes that they're charged with. Is that doxing? Is talking about, a person that's mentioned in a magazine or a newspaper or anything that's put out there for wide consumption of the public, is that doxing? You can see essentially the disciplinary complaints against any attorney in Pennsylvania. Well, it has to go to a certain level. Let me say this. I do believe in Pennsylvania, you can't just see if a complaint has been filed, but if the disciplinary board decides to take action on it, then it becomes public. But if Nick's if it's being alleged that he's being doxed, or that he's doxing people because he shared public information, that seems to me to be a stretch, and it seems to me that it's going too far. I think what people and creators have to think about here is you have to look at YouTube as the G-rated service. Now, I understand how big it is, but you got to understand too, right? Look at the history of private industry. In the 1980s, nobody thought Sears would ever fail or could be taken down. Big oil is going to be there forever. In fact, it's not. They appear to be, Exxon appears, and BP appear to be the most powerful companies in the world right now. But in a couple of years, they may not be. And in 20, 30, 40 years, if they still exist, it will be in extremely different form. So it feels like YouTube runs everything, or YouTube is the end all be all of individual creators going online and building a business or making videos, but it's not. I believe Nick's available on Rumble now. Rumble seems to be doing really, really good. There's been a whole bunch of other sites that are supporting video content. I think, what was the one called? BitChute or something like that. And so what creators need to do is they need to look at YouTube as the G-rated version. And maybe a good strategy is, if somebody wants to talk about, more X-rated type content, is you build up on YouTube and then you take your audience elsewhere. You build your business on YouTube and then you go elsewhere. Or you build your business on YouTube, you do videos on YouTube, but then you do other selected content on other platforms. Because I really don't think there's any recourse in the law. There's no good recourse in the law when dealing with private companies sort of policing their own website. I just don't think that that's a winning battle. I'm not sure that we want that to be a winning battle. The cure to this is to create competition. And then YouTube may decide to change their rules or support different content. And if they don't, they're going to have to compete with these other businesses. And I believe we're beginning to see that. I know it's taking years and years. I have to believe, and I don't know because I didn't see everything, that whatever Nick posted was taken out of context. Or is not something he should necessarily be banned for, because I've watched his show before. I've been on many times, and he was just a great dude. He's very funny. Yeah, does he push boundaries? Yes, but I haven't seen him push anything that appeared to be very inappropriate from my perspective. So I wish Nick Rekieta the best of luck. I hope this is a temporary ban. I heard he's got some good lawyers who are going to help him in the fight, and I would just say, consider supporting people on alternative platforms. But for now, private companies, they are what they are. And I don't think it's the right thing for the government to get involved in them. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm Joe Pometto, Joe the Lawyer. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Wanted to share my opinion on this, the defenestration of Nick Rekieta. Nick, I love you. I hope you come back. It means being tossed out of a window. It's just a cool sounding word, and weird that it even exists. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.